Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I was just getting my chat pulled up here. Boom. All right, that way I can make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get started. We got almost 30 people in here right when we push the button. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and get started first by greeting everyone. And then I got the whole entire Out of Battery cast backstage chilling. So awesome. So let's go ahead and first welcome Kurt24. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Also a channel member, my guy. Great to see you. Also first in chat, of course. We got Joe Morris, another channel member. Great to see you. Z, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Sixth, y'all are all fighting over first. I know. Great to see you. Let's see. Z, Joe Morris, T for Tejas. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Another channel member. Mark Tucka, Mop, great to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Mark Tucker, Ron Bayer. What's up, fam? Another channel member. Great to see you. Let's see, Mark Tucker, Kurt24. Let's see, Z. Hey, thanks for sharing the links. I appreciate that. That is for the Shadow Systems lower parts kit faux Yaglocks, because Shopify was trying to can my behind. So if you want to support the channel and get something great for your builds, go ahead, do your thing. I also almost finished the frag out designs, upper, lower barrel, and all that. 10.5-inch little thingamajiggy behind me with a pistol brace. Come fuck with me, ATF. Yeah, and I'll show that off too. DLD after Ambien. Look at the picture. It's beautiful. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. And also a channel member, of course. Let's see, Ron Bear, Barton Fink. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Another channel member. Let's see, John Rice, my guy. What's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a minute. Fire Rodder, what's up, fam? Good to see you. We got Goon Beam in the building too, bro. If you're not rocking a Goon Beam for your EDC, like, what are you doing? I mean, Goon Beam. Go in the description. I got links and discount codes and all of that. So, okay, let's see. We got John Rice. And then, of course, our honorable mentions. We got Wired Tight. We got Emmy. What's up, fam? We got Wesley Foster. Great to see you. We got Putin. Bro, I'm rocking this for you, fam. I'm rocking this for you. Rusty, crusty trombone Shackelford. Great to see you. I think, bro, there's so many Rusty Shacklefords out here. I constantly think that all of y'all are the same dude. So I like see y'all in other chats and I'm like, Rusty, my guy. And they're all different people. So sorry. Okay. I apologize in advance. Like I said, Goonbeam, show him some love. He's always supporting the channel. And Goonbeam, I'm gonna let you know that 10.5-inch 5.56 I just built does not have a weapon light. So I may need to holler at you. Let's see who else we got up in the chat. We got Emmy. We got Chronic Herb. That sounds delightful. Toy Town Inc. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Tim Hoppa. What's up? What's up? Hopefully you got your ish back from the ATF. And man, crazy story. Let's see. Toy Town, bro. Toy Town. I saw your comment. I want to live in a cluster neighborhood. Beautiful, beautiful. If y'all don't know, go watch the New York Ghost Gun document review that we did. It was a nightmare, but something beautiful always comes from it. Son of Murray, what's up, fam? Good to see you. We've got Ryan to Vorlci. Great to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. And everybody else that I missed, love all y'all. Nestor, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. 3D Oe, great to see you. Lots of people that are from Out of Battery podcast, and I appreciate that. So we're about to get it in. Immediately ask Bit how his poop was. You got it. I've put together all of these interview questions because I'm that no, I don't have any questions prepared. But we're gonna shit talk and we're gonna have lots of fun. So Zanti, there he is. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Blinksy's Toys. We got everybody in here. All right, we're about to get started. So first off, if you guys don't know, if you're not Fish, bro, sorry, I had to stop real quick. Fish, you've been so effing helpful for everything I needed for the Geisley Super Duty, and you've been like clocking out of work to help answer questions on where to get the best deals on Geisley Super Duty stuff. So I love you, brother. Thank you. And go check out the Tactical Turkeys. They just hit 200,000 subscribers, and these guys are killing it. Y'all are awesome. And we'll be doing some more shooting together soon, too. All right, so let's jump into it. So if you guys have ever 3D printed anything, it's likely that you have probably seen some of these faces If you've subscribed to the Out of Battery podcast, then you know them. If you don't, then the only time I'll give you permission to leave this stream is right now to go subscribe to the Out of Battery podcast and go, subscribe, hit them with some likes, follow them on Instagram and all that stuff. And without further ado, Jova Q, what up? Without further ado, I will bring on all these gentlemen right now, one at a time. And
hell yeah, brother.
we all got some rule breakers here, so hopefully YouTube doesn't can my ass. But
no, that was an airsoft gun. We actually don't 3D print guns. We are extraordinarily against that.
I've heard it's and I did say if you've ever 3D printed anything, so it could be like those little SD card owl statues,
AWCY ovens, benchies.
I got
the Yoda figurines.
I got the bench block. You want to know a secret about the Aussie bench block? The first one I printed it with 15% infill. Because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But let's go ahead if you want start off one at a time and kind of introduce yourselves. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
So I am Cape. I am one of the hosts on Out of Battery, somewhat obviously. I guess not obviously, but I
mean, listen to his voice, guys. He's the host.
I got a sultry voice. Oh yeah, dude. This is ASMR where we say hell yeah and dude a lot. I don't know. What do I do in the community? I host Out of Battery. I have been involved with AWCY. I support the community as a whole, and I'm here for it. What's going on, Bitplum?
Also, you do firmware. You have done trailers.
Yeah.
You do a lot of media stuff for people.
Did you do the spicy trailer?
The spicy trailer was Danny. I think other than the two most recent trailers for Out of Battery, and I don't know, I did probably half of all AWCY trailers. I did the trailer for We Talk Shit. I've done a few.
That
trailers.
Was dope.
Yeah.
That was an excellent.
Good. I was so jealous of the We Talk Shit trailer for a while because I was like, man, that is so good. It's better than our trailers. And then
why can't you do that for us?
Dude, our trailer was pretty badass.
I'm kind of jealous. I mean, mine is okay, but
I like your trailer.
Yeah, it's.
Did you make that?
I did not. I actually Swamp Dog Armory, friend of the channel.
Hell yeah,
and
dude, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
So I told him I was like, I want something cool, edgy, Matrixy, where it's a bunch of black and white pictures of like all those were builds, Polymer 80 builds, and crazy shit, and it's it's cool, but it does not hold an effing candle to what you did for We Talk Shit. That shit's fire.
Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah, man. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt, Bitplum.
So I'm Bitplum. I've been this week actually marks I think my 4th year anniversary into printing guns. I really didn't have a social media presence for the first 3 years. Only when we started Out of Battery did I get on Instagram. I was in AWCY, just big cheerleader. I have a lot of the first trailers and stuff. I'm not so involved in AWCY anymore just because I'm not printing things. I've been working on this fucking Tacoma, but whatever. I'm still in GunCAD.
Nice. Hell yeah. Who would like to go next?
Dude, Swarm Tech, you're up.
Yeah. No, so I am Swarm Tech. I have been an Army Cliff for I think 3 years now or something like that. I design stuff. I was doing a lot of manual actions for a while, so I did a pump action / bolt action AR pattern type weapon called the Monarch. I just released the Scarab 2. There was the Scarab 1. I've got a grenade launcher coming out. I have a 22 long rifle lever action that'll be coming out fairly soon here. That kind of stuff. And then I also organize what I think is the Superior GunCAD meetup, which is the annual Midwest meetup, which if you are out there, you like 3D printing guns, you like guys from the community, and you want to come with and shoot some machine guns with us and do other just hooligan shit, out in the Midwest. Come listen to Out of Battery. We'll tell you about next year's. But we've done 2 years of the Midwest meetup, and we're going to be doing more hosted live events like that in the future along with that. So design stuff, put stuff together, and otherwise I'm just a degenerate.
Before we go anywhere, I just want to point out 40 ounce called you out for calling a 37 millimeter a grenade launcher.
Clearly, he meant a flare/signaling device.
You're so disconnected lately, Swarm.
You know what? I've never shot a grenade out of mine, only signals. So they have to prove my intent, right?
So grenade in French is flares and signals. So I'm just kidding. I don't know.
That's totally what I meant. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
I'm like pro people shooting grenades. That said, doing it out of a 37 millimeter that you built with a fence post is bold.
Yeah.
You know, like the unhappy path when it doesn't go exactly as planned is pretty unhappy.
Our rebels are impressed somewhere.
Especially if you're rolling, like if you're 3D printing your casings too, if you're 3D printing the projectile, and then man, I would just be nervous. Like, I don't have a printed 37.
You don't get nervous till you've had like 6 catastrophic fails.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I think actually, do one of y'all have a video where the shit just literally just blew the fuck up?
This fucking guy right here.
I thought so.
That's a deep fake, guys.
No, what happened is if you go on the AWCY site for many years, I don't know if it still exists, but you could get this like patch that was like AWCY beta tester, and it had like someone doing 2 thumbs up, but the thumbs are like, you know, like it's like the bones in your hand, and the thumbs are broken. And the reason for that is this dumb motherfucker right here super glued a 37 millimeter round into the original prototype of a thump and grind back when 37 millimeter was just getting up and running with a camera round in it, and it failed extraordinarily catastrophically, and my man broke his thumbs.
Wow. What happened is this was even before CNC Kitchen put out his like super glue is stronger than PLA layer lines video. Okay. Nobody knew better. I told people what I was doing. So where the camera would disconnect from the case, I put 4 drops of super glue where it should have been hot glue. Okay. It's stronger than the PLA. There was no disconnect. Boom. It was just blew up.
Do you want to know something that may actually save your life or someone else's?
It was a PMAG, 30 round AK-47 PMAG saved my life. It took a fucking piece of shrapnel. It blew a hole in the PMAG. It tore the lip right off of it, and it blew a hole in the PMAG, something from the thump and grind.
Damn.
And the camera still shot 200 yards.
Wow. That is intense.
That's pretty bad.
Now, was it
I climbed to this top of this fucking hill, and it's like fucking 800 yards up this pretty steep hill. And so then, like, when I shot it, boom, fucking my thumb's fucked up. My son, he's down the hill, like he's filming from a different angle. So I got to run down the hill and tell him I'm fucked up. But I leave all my shit at the top of the hill. So I'm like, all right, we got to go. I'm fucked up. But I got to go back up the top of the hill and get all my shit and back down again.
Oh my God. Now, was it the PMAG with the steel of reinforcement or just straight up polymer?
Polymer.
Damn. Do you know what super glue does if you drop it on black powder?
Wet super glue or like dry super glue?
Wet super glue.
No.
It could
Why
ignite.
don't you tell? Really?
If you agitate it. So if you drop a few drops on black powder, this is why you use, and I just recently learned, well, you know, not too long ago, I learned it. And because I do 37 millimeter rounds all the time, but you know, I'm like, why hot glue? Like, is there another option? And I start looking into it. I'm watching videos and stuff, and this dude is like super glue testing, igniting black powder. I'm like, what? So
hot
I watched
glue
his
is
videos.
your friend, man.
Hot
glue is the way you seal things. You can dump a fucking inch of hot glue on top of a firework round, and that is like what the instructions say to do. Hot glue will separate. It is your friend.
What is going on there? Is the cyanoacrylate like exothermic when it's like polymerizing? Okay.
You've already totally surpassed my vocabulary and my I have no idea. It gets hot.
We fucking skipped Penrose introduction because it's probably one of the most important.
It is easily like the most impressive.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, before Pen, you introduce yourself, I want to say one thing, which is Penrose is truly one of the OGest motherfuckers in all of GunCat. Are we allowed to swear, by the way?
Sure. I think we're past that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Truly one of the members of all time.
Longest running member of GunCat. Brought Bussy into GunCat. How long? I mean, what else? What else?
I mean, how many developers have you psyoped into building weird shit? It's literally, I would guess, probably a dozen.
How many projects have you sidetracked with fucking memes and nonsense? Hundreds.
That's a better question. Yes.
Are you guilty of the Nylog and the P90 fuckery that's been going on here? Or I don't know too much about this. Okay, so
I don't need
somehow I've managed to stay clear of that.
Okay, all right.
But that does sound like something I would do.
It's
just talking about like such a long time on release.
Yeah, people have been talking about it forever. I mean, I know people that are like putting them together. I don't know if they're in the beta or what, but I'm kind of removed from like the community of printing, but I'm still involved in printing. I have a business involved in printing, and kind of. But when it comes to like the inner workings, I'm disconnected.
Do you follow any of the teams closely, like the Catalog, BLC, AWCY, anything like that? Okay.
Not really. No.
Are there any like individual developers you follow?
Yeah, I mean, I love like 3D Arms. That's my guy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's the man. Give him big wet hugs every time I see him. Invader Zip, that's my guy. He's awesome. I mean, man, I don't know who else. Guys, help me out in chat. What other CAD? This one dude, man, if you guys haven't got your hands on him yet, his name is Benchies Go Boom. This dude is a fucking beast. Obviously, Hoffman, love Hoffman. He's a great dude. He's been on the show a bunch of times, and got to meet him at IV88. Got to meet you guys.
I want to say after meeting Hoffman in person, I have a profound respect for
dude.
Hoffman.
He's fucking cool. And I will say, in our defense, I was a little worried when Hoffman came to the Gamer House that he was going to think we were a little crazy.
Right.
But I think he had a good time. We had a good time with Hoffman.
So. Yeah, he's awesome. And I'm sorry we didn't make it too. We totally crashed, bro. We were worthless.
What we got to do at these meetups, and we always fail to do, is arrive like an entire day early. So we get there, and the next day is like the event. We're fucking have traveled the whole day, stay up all night. We're fucking jagged.
We're a mess. Yeah,
yeah.
We can barely operate a gimbal, as evidenced by all of the footage in the drive done by me, where it's like just.
But you got the cleanest fucking mic holder in the game.
Dude, shout out to my boy Danny Meatball for being a fucking pimp, dude.
Yeah, and by the way, Danny would also be one of the folks that like I watch his work, and even if I don't always print what people do, like I just admire anyone that's cranking shit out in CAD. Their brain is immediately like mine is smoother than theirs just by their ability to do that. So
listen, I want to just point out to the whole entire community exactly how powerful we are without fighting, right? Like the infighting is crazy. You know what? You can take anything you see on Amazon or whatever, reverse engineer it, tweak it, make it your own. Can you imagine if we all came together and like just stopped the infighting?
Oh, for sure. Show that again real quick. I'll put you on solo.
So this is basically like the Rode mic knockoff. You can find this on Thingiverse. Basically, it's $30 if you don't know how to CAD or whatever. And Danny, we added our logo to it, and it just, your little lapel mic clips in the back there, and now you have a hand mic.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't know about that AMS and how clean that shit can do, filaments, baby. Nice. Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite interactions in GunCat I've had so far was Danny printed one of those on his Bamboo, and he gave it to Middleton as a gift at IV8888. And Middleton,
carelessly just left it laying around.
He was smoking too much weed or something and fucking left that motherfucker in Hoffman's bag. Okay. And for reference, he was not smoking weed. Middleton is a good boy. And Hoffman after the meetup just like texts me and it's like, what do I do with this? And I don't know why, but just the fact that Hoffman was like worried that we were gonna like want it back, I thought was just the cutest thing ever. Dude, shout out to Hoffman for being the purest soul in GunCAD.
100%. He is for sure. Now, I'm sorry, Penrose. Let's go back to you so we don't forget about you, because we'll get. So, if you could, and I know from what I hear, you're a humble man. Introduce yourself and your accolades and your stature.
Don't hold back.
Yeah. Everybody, I'm Penrose. I'm the premier autist in the GunCAD space, designer of many things, printer of none.
So, okay, I'm going to help introduce you a little bit because I think you are not going to do yourself justice. I think you're too humble to introduce yourself. So I'm going to like suck your dick a little bit and introduce you, okay? Penrose goes back to the fucking ancient days of GunCAD, IRC, like early FOSCAD stuff.
We're talking like monoprice days?
2015, like, 16?
Yeah, like before any of the teams. He goes through DD2. Does not stick around because he gets in trouble, gets kicked out, brings Mussy in to the community, helps with the early days of AWCY, and has interacted with probably more of the keystone developers in the history of GunCAD than any other single person, period.
Damn. That's pretty
when I first came into GunCAD, I bought a Prusa with Bitcoin, right? It's like worth a lot of money. So I come in and I found Deterrence Dispense. We're all on Keybase, right? This is like before AWCY as a team. And I can remember watching Penrose talk in chat, and I'm a fucking noob. I don't even know what supports are. And I'm like, man, this guy knows some shit. I thought he was like the smartest motherfucker in all of GunCAD when I first came there.
Dude, he is a smart motherfucker.
And now he knows that's not true.
No, you are. You're the master.
There is not another person
AI
in
art.
all of GunCAD who holds the knowledge you do of firearms.
And that's so cool when you get to like have that conversation with somebody that you like admire a lot. I remember the first time I talked to Cody Wilson. This was like early on in the days of, now, and of course, like I didn't even know shit about like Aussie and DD, and I just knew, basically like the general public view of Cody Wilson.
Yeah.
He was the guy that made the first 3D, whatever. And it was just so dope. And then I started getting to know a lot of other people in the community, and then burned out like 4 thermistors on my ender later, and I'm like, dude, I will never fucking put myself through that again. Bamboo all the way. But there's some interesting things that came up with that. So what are y'all printing on nowadays?
I still have my same 2 Prusas, MK3Ss that I've always had. I've never switched. One of them is like 4 years old, man. It probably cost $16,000, right? I bought it in Bitcoin at a real low point in Bitcoin. This motherfucker at one point was probably worth $25,000. I shit you not.
Damn.
In the Bitcoin you spent on it, not
Correct.
in the parts.
Still, yeah, man. But at one point in time, I was sitting here holding this, going, "Oh my god, I literally just gave away $25,000 worth of Bitcoin to this shit."
Do they?
And I'm not even like fucked up about it. I bought my Ghost Gunner 3 the same way.
Nice.
At the same time.
Hell yeah. And what about you, Kate?
So I'm exclusively printing on a Bamboo. I have a Prusa Mark III that I don't print anything on. I have printed on a lot of stuff. Throughout the years, the first printer I ever used was at the printing lab. It was like it just opened up at the university I was going to, and MakerBots, the original MakerBots, and they were fucking garbage, dude.
Yeah.
So since then, to Bamboo is wild.
Oh,
right?
It's like in the amount of time, it's crazy. I had was it a MakerBot? No, it was a MakerBot like knockoff. It was like I think it was a monoprice. I can't recall, but I could barely get it to work. And then I ended up doing the Micro Center deal to get a $99 Ender and some eSun. eSun. And then the rest is history. So are you running an X1C or P1P?
An X1C, yeah.
X1C, fuck yeah.
With the AMS, for people that are not on the Bamboo grind set, if you are against Bamboo because they're not open source, I support you fully. If you are against the Bamboo because it costs too much money, try not being poor, first of all.
Listen, those open source motherfuckers, they burn down people's houses with that closed source shit. Okay?
No. Okay.
That's the only reason I don't have one, Cape, and you know it.
So the open source people are the people that developed the whole concept of using a MOSFET and then checking the MOSFET for preventing thermal runaway. Like the open source people devved that. The RepRap community, are you shitting me, dog? Marlin was an early adopter, Clipper, like all the big projects that instituted 3D printers don't burn your house down were open source. Don't come after the open source community for that. That's the weakest argument I've ever heard.
Don't buy Bamboo because of it until it's open source, bud. Yeah, I don't care what that new model can do.
Oh, wait. Were you saying that the closed source people need to get on the open source people's level?
What I'm saying is I do not buy Bamboo because they are not open source.
Okay.
I love Cape just ripping into bit and then going, wait, what is your position again?
Right. It's not because I'm poor. It's because they're not open source.
You can tell.
I mean, dude, you have a $25,000 Prusa, bro. You're definitely not poor. That's like having like one of the first SLA printers ever. Like,
I am broke constantly though because of my fucking terrible purchase habits and guns.
I think a lot of us, no matter how much you make, a lot of us end up there. What about you, Swarmy?
I did the more traditional route of starting with just a busted ass Ender 3 and then went to the V2. Got like 3 of those, then got a Prusa, and now I'm on the Bamboo. I got a Voron shortly before I got a Bamboo, and now none of those other things get used, and it's all the Bamboo. I'm really with the, like, if the price is too much, just don't be poor and get one because it will change your life. It's as close as we've gotten to having a printer that's a toaster. And I'm in this to make guns. I'm not in this to have 3D printing as a hobby. So for me, it works really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of one of the interesting things is like prior, like running the Ender. Like I said, I started on the Ender as well. I think, a lot of people do just because of the time, the particular time, like when COVID hit and all that, like everyone got into printing. It was $100 to $200 basically, and as long as you had a computer. And I mean, going from fixing shit to like your hobby becomes fucking with a 3D printer, repairing it, making adjustments, copying people's settings. PSR, what are your settings? Like all like the craziness, and then you plug in a Bamboo, and it's like, holy shit.
Can I just say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying it for 4 years. All your shit melts in the sun. Go fuck yourselves.
I mean, that is honestly an argument in favor of Bamboo and the X1C, right? Like, there are relatively few printers that don't require a massive skill set to actually build out that out of the box print nylon. So if you are going to print carbon or glass filled nylon, it's the X1C is a very, very strong option. And the fact that it's much closer to a toaster than it is to an Ender 3, dude, it really reduces the need for the level of autism that was required like 3 years ago to print nylon on traditional bed slingers, man.
Everything about printing nylon is a much more beautiful printing experience. The printing, the support removal, post-processing, it is a much greater experience. It just costs more to buy. But goddamn, it don't melt in the sun, guys. It don't melt in the sun.
The amount of time, so I just want to add, the amount of time that we've gone from, like the industry has gone from, a toaster that you build to a toaster that you plug in. Like that is such a short period of time. I cannot wait to see where we end up in like the next 5 years or so. It's going to be crazy, provided that
drones that can replicate themselves mid-flight.
Yes, baby making drones.
Von Neumann machines that drop bombs. That's what
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Penrose? What are you running and what did you start with?
What I started with was the original fucking Annette A8. If anyone remembers those things are fucking death traps.
Jesus.
I actually do have a almost burned my house down story. It was around Christmas, and I wanted to print a measuring cube. I guess that was popular on Thingiverse at the time.
Like one of the Cal cubes?
No, it was somebody made it was like a cube that had every face was a different measuring cup size.
Like for volumetric measure of like flour or something?
Yeah, like for cooking.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I was going to make it as a gift, and I was printing in high impact polystyrene because I guess that was food safe. I'm not sure why, to be completely honest. But anyways, I was printing it. I had used this printer for quite a while. So I had it printing overnight, as I had done many times before. And I woke up at about 3 a.m. and realized I couldn't breathe. And that's why I woke up. And I went out to go see what was going on, and there was smoke like all throughout the house. What had happened was at some point the heater cartridge had worked its way out of the hot end and was melting through the print, caught the plastic on fire, and was burning the whole printer.
Oof.
So
damn.
Could you save anything? Like the extrusions were still fine even if the board wasn't?
I don't recall because I just kind of immediately unplugged it, put out the fire, and was like, okay, we're done with this printer. I'm getting literally anything that isn't this. From there, I got an Ender 3, which I promptly broke because I just can't have nice things, apparently. I probably burned out 10 different boards on that. No, I'm sorry. After the A8, I spent a bunch of money on what was at the time very expensive. It was a FlashForge Dreamer, which was like $1,200, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a dual extrusion printer. I thought I was getting, from a reputable company. They had a warranty, so if anything went wrong, I could, warranty it. It sucked out of the box. The bed wasn't level. It was warped. It was bowed. I took measurements to prove this, contacted the company and said, hey, I got a lemon. Is there anything you can do about it? Basically, they told me to go fuck myself. I provided measurements, I provided data, and they said, yeah, no, we don't warranty that. Sorry. Look at the card. All it warranties is the fucking screws and belts and the glue stick that comes with it. None of the actual parts are warranted.
FlashForge and there were a few others. Voxel Lab. There were some companies that, in a different universe, if they had given a shit about QA and warranties, could have been the bamboo moment.
Absolutely.
And they burned their goodwill by not doing good QA and not actually attempting to make a consumer-friendly platform that was no effort for people that want to buy a toaster.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then I got the Ender 3, burned 15 boards. Anybody who's in the AWCY community who has sent me a board that I burned out, I'm sorry. I cannot be trusted with technology. Currently, I have an Anycubic X, I believe, that was gifted to me very generously by the Gundwarf. Shout out to the Gundwarf. That I've been sitting on like a complete asshole and haven't printed anything with, and hopefully that's going to change soon. I'm hopefully gonna get back up on that horse. Sorry?
Is it still in the box?
It's been unboxed. It's been sitting next to my computer for God knows how long.
Are you talking about the Ender 5 Plus?
No. Do you remember when we were at the Gundwarf shooting the set me?
Yeah.
And he gave Penrose a printer.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it was the Ender 5 Plus, wasn't it?
It's an Anycubic X.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either, to be fair.
What is it? Is it like something? Could you compare it to something?
I think it was the pre-runner to the Anycubic Viper, which was like a bed slinger but big form, high quality, like a much nicer Ender 3. Basically.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I've been for a very long time scared to get back on that horse, but I think it's time.
I just want to shout out real quick, Crypto. I don't know what problems you're having in chat. YouTube censors chat. I don't. My phalanges are right here. So if you're typing some craziness like the Jews did 9/11 and stuff like that, then yeah, it'll probably take it down. But I do, for everyone out there, like I do streams on Rumble now. So I know this has been kind of a difficult thing, right? Like I went through and I had this moment where I was like, all right, like fuck all these people that hate us. And I'm sorry, maybe what I said was too harsh. Hopefully Swarmy comes back.
He said in the private chat that his wife is yelling at him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Swarmy, my bad. So let me go back here. So I went through this whole thing and I was like, all right, I'm canceling everything like Amazon, Netflix, like I'm canceling Disney Plus, HBO, like every single thing where it was like a platform that hates us and wants us dead essentially. YouTube is like I kind of feel like I'm like still like not in integrity or not being honest because YouTube fucking hates us. Their Alphabet is like walking lockstep with the federal government, doing whatever they can. Like they hate us too, right? But so I did start a Rumble. I started streaming over there, so you'll see some streams over there and stuff too. But I promise I am not. I don't do censoring. I've had people come up in here and like roast my ass and like drop my government info and I still don't censor them, probably because I'm stupid.
Based.
Yeah.
So two things about that. One is a question and one is a comment. So the comment is the other day I was sick. And so I was like in the back room while the other Out of Battery boys were streaming last week. And I was making comments and I don't even think it was that spicy what I said, but there were like a couple comments where I would type it in and it would show to me that it had appeared in the YouTube chat. But then I would switch tabs and go to StreamYard and I could see that it didn't actually render for anyone else and was not appearing, and YouTube had censored it. So that's a real thing. YouTube is like absolutely deleting some percentage of comments. And
even if
I've said a lot
settings on your stuff, like even as a creator, you can set a high setting, medium setting, low setting. Even if you don't change it at all, you can post something and you'll see it just float away, like a beautiful dove flying through, But yeah, and also you'll see it, but if you log in on another username, like you're saying, you won't. You're like, what? It's crazy. But yeah, no, I'm getting back to what we're talking about here. I'm sorry. Are you going to switch over to that new printer that I have no idea what you mentioned, Penrose, or what's the plan?
Yeah. For the longest time it wasn't unboxed and everyone kept harassing me to get it set up. So I finally did. But yeah, it's sitting here. It's plugged in. I guess ready to go. I have to dial it in, print a calibration cube and all that. But
nice.
Yeah, I need to get moving on that and start printing some shit and join the rest of the world.
Do you think you're gonna add a bamboo to the collection too, or are you not down with that?
Right now I think we're just gonna take baby steps, but at some point I do hope to join the bamboo gang, because from what I've heard, it's a very good printer.
Yeah, hell yeah. Flying Rich Firearms, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Out of battery, homies." Dude, Flying Rich, even though we used to make fun of him, we called him Frying Rich because he would run his shit at like 500 degrees Celsius. But no, all jokes aside, the shit that he does like in CAD just to make stuff like for around the house, camera holders, like all stuff. I'm surprised. He even when Control Pew put out the Bullpup Glock 34, he took it and he just remixed it, and I was like, he was like, yeah, I just playing around in Tinkercad. It's Tinkercad mostly, but it's cool. It's cool. So I admire that a great deal. That's shit that I cannot do.
Do you do any CAD?
I do not. No. I mean,
have you ever tried?
I've not ever tried. I've literally sat there with people and like been screen sharing where people have done their thing. Like my jigs, the DLD hardware jigs, like I've literally sat there with a developer and he screen shared it and went through and was like, all right, this, we're gonna do this, we'll invert this, watch this, boop, boop. And I'm like, oh my God, like how the fuck I should be doing this, but I have not even tried.
So here's what I'll say. I think developers as a whole, like CAD is something very personal. And I think people try and explain their process and it scares people off because it's intimidating looking at someone who's good at something do the thing so naturally. And it's like, there's like 40 menus you went through. You're pressing hotkeys. You're like doing all these weird operations. So I frankly think that if you're interested in CADing, the way to start is just open a CAD program and just make things until you feel comfortable in that particular CAD program.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I could see myself doing something like that and, possibly being okay at it, but I don't know. I got to give it a shot to see. But you're right. Like I've never done it. So, and there's a lot of people out there that probably print like a motherfucker that have never actually tried to work on developing some shit, and seeing somebody as stupid as Flying Rich do such great I'm just kidding, Rich, I love you. Seeing somebody like Rich, well, he's just like he's just regular ass dude, and like 3D Arms, Hoffman, like all these guys are awesome. And I mean, obviously there's so many more, so forgive me, but they're just dudes that have become very skilled in CAD, and I respect that a great deal. And then being involved in like a beta and troubleshooting shit and like that's a whole new thing to me too. So I'd like to get more involved. I just haven't yet.
I will say, like, I think developers get a huge percentage of the credit in this community, but the beta testers are the fucking lifeblood of how this works. And there are guys who've never like opened a CAD program other than to grab a step from a developer and put it into STL that are a huge percentage of why anything is released in this community. Like beta testers, if you can print and you are competent at building things, seriously consider contributing to this community, not as a developer, but just get involved with a developer you like, connect with them, figure out how to help them print as a beta tester and alpha tester for these guys once you get to know them. It's super valuable and super underappreciated.
The most valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how, like, if you've printed something and it works, it's a combination of not just the developer, right? The people that, put the rounds through it, that made changes, that, I think it's cool shit. I'm doing, it's just a Glock frame, but I'm in a beta right now where like, and I'm kind of maybe not doing the best job. Sorry guys, but and it's cool. Like this, I don't know if you guys heard, but Strike Industries actually licensed their name to be put on a Glock 43X frame, not for commercial use, just for sharing the file and whatnot. But we have a Glock 43X frame with the Strike Industries logo on that bad boy. And it's cool. Like companies getting involved with it too. They're based too. They got files on their website.
Yeah.
It's
shout
cool.
out to Strike Industries, because so we went to their booth at SHOT Show, and Justin had been doing this like meme thing where he would like go to any company where someone had 3D printed some version of their thing, and he would like show it to them very aggressively to try and get a reaction out of them, right?
Yeah.
And the vast majority of companies were like a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then the extreme version of that was like CZ just like wouldn't talk to us the second we mentioned 3D printing.
Whatever, dude. That guy gave me the only patch.
Suck my dick. CZ.
That's awesome.
But then at the complete opposite end of the spectrum was Strike Industries, who were like, this is cool. We love this. Keep doing what you're doing. And Justin was showing them like people who are literally stealing their exact designs dimensionally.
Yeah.
Printing them. And they were like, look, we understand the people buying like Gucci Strike Industry shit is not the same set of people like printing it for $1 in PLA.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. We love it. We love that you're putting the Strike Industries name out there. Keep doing it.
Yeah, and it's let's be honest, Strike Industries, and I love all y'all. And
they said, "Fuck you, P80 Ralph." Just kidding.
We've done a couple things together, and like they took the Strike frame off the market. You guys did it to yourselves, guys. Okay, Strike, but I love Strike, and at the same time, like what you're saying is true. And for the same thing, like, so when the ATF said, okay, no more polymer 80 jigs and frames together, that's a sin, whatever. That's when I started DLD hardware, and then we started 3D printing jigs, and I wrestled with the whole, okay, I don't really love the idea of selling shit that I print, right? I don't feel good about that. And then, having conversations with people, it was like the people that are buying jigs for their polymer 80 are not 3D printing. So you could share the file, you could put it out everywhere. They're not going to print it. And it's a superior jig that bolts shut, and it's, the shit holds up like a mofo. So, I struggle with that in the beginning because it's like the open source. You go, you print it, you slice it, you print it, like that's, but it's different sets of people, right? And now traditionally you don't find like dudes cranking out polymer 80s that are printing, but every now and then you find like a weird guy like me that prints a little. I'm not a huge printer, that also does polymer 80s, ARs. I've done it all, but yeah, it's cool.
I'm always interested in people that at least partially crossed over into printing from the P80 world, because that was not my experience at all. And so what was the timeline like for you? So you had been doing P80s for a long time.
Yeah.
And
when
then
they first came out.
What was the moment where you're like, maybe I get a printer?
It actually took a long time, and a lot of people. I think what it was is when I started to see shit like oh, you know what it was? I'll tell you exactly what it was. When I saw that, it was probably like Silk PLA, but when I saw that gold Aussie Scorpion, I was like, it's on. It's on.
Silk Scorpion.
Was it Silk?
It was Silk. It was made by Vit. Yeah, it fired one round.
And then just it was just donezo. Dude, it had to be. It was
beautiful build.
God, it was so gorgeous. Like I wouldn't shoot that, but yeah, and that's why we don't do Silk PLA, guys. For everyone out there, don't do it. I'm a Duramic PLA Plus kind of guy, but so initially when I saw the first polymer 80 that was available, it was the V1. And I don't know if you guys know, but that shit is so hideous, so ugly. The ergos are terrible. It almost looks like a Spaceman Chairman Juan kind of frame. sorry Chairman. But I mean, it was like, okay, no one was really building them that much. It was ugly. No holsters are going to fit it. No, it was just like this like obscure thing. And then when they came out with the V2s, I started getting into it. And the first thing I bought like 3 or 4, and this was probably shit. Damn, I don't know. 2017, 18, something. Okay. Probably 2000. Shit, I don't know. 16, 17, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in that range. I guess maybe I should find a way to go back and look. That'd be hilarious. But when I started doing it, I knocked out one, because at that point when you bought the frames, you could get the frame and obviously the jig, the bits, the rails, and all that shit, and a lower parts kit for like 120 to 150. And it was the polymer 80 lower parts kits, which were pretty decent. So I remember the first thing, dude, I didn't even look. Like I pulled up one video and it was Marine Gun Builder. Shout out to you, Marine Gun Builder. You're awesome. He's been on the channel a bunch of times. I'd consider him a friend. And I just literally went like on my tabletop like desk, no tools, like barely anything. I had only assembled ARs and whatnot, and I just started drilling shit. Totally like fucked it up. They're the ugliest pinholes. I still got them all, obviously, and like totally just did a shit job, and but it still worked. I was able to like file them and kind of show them some extra love. And I did some battle worn. I actually bought a white P80, which those are pretty rare to come by, and I did a battle worn paint job on it. And then later on, they never made them again, and I was like, "Fuck!" I basically like did a splatter paint job on the Mona Lisa. But I went from there, and I've over the years have built dozens of them and done a lot of other projects. Glocks are mostly my thing, but
okay.
I mean,
favorite Glock model that's not full auto.
Any 9mm Glock. No, I'm kidding. I'd say the 19.
Okay.
But I EDC a 43X, and if we're talking like we'll call it like duty, like like work
Like
use,
17.
Like, I'd say the 34. That shit is like butter. You can crack a steel silhouette at 100 yards like nothing. Like it's that shit is like pure sex to me. But I love OEM guns too. But even with OEM guns, I'll go buy like some weird obscure like Lipsy's custom frame, and then I'll like hunt for like the right like slide and barrel. Like even buying an OEM gun, I don't necessarily just go to a gun shop and buy it or order it. I still kind of piece them together. So but going through all this, like I would see people with 3D printed shit all the time, and people would come up with hey, I have a Vice, Man Against the Masses. I have a Vice. I actually got my second Vice today, by the way. Thank you. There's a longer story behind that. But anyway, I getting into building and getting into a little bit more of the community. Still not even understanding printing like at all, really, the communities and all that. Some of my friends were doing it. I saw a couple of my friends that were printing out lowers, and they would show me in the bottom it's like $1.17 and like 74 cents. I'm like, what? Like I couldn't even fathom it. I had a neighbor that had one, and then that's when I saw this CZ.
The biggest psyop ever committed was convincing people that they were going to spend less money on guns by getting into 3D printing.
Yeah.
It's such a mistake. Holy
what it did
shit.
is distracted you from buying a fuck ton of ammo, or at least training with your ammo because you were out beta testing with your ammo. And all the fucking man. I'm just glad I got into guns before I got into 3D printing guns, because the second I got into 3D printing guns, I stopped buying all the Gucci gear.
Yeah, I kind of like bopped back and forth. Like I've been like I still love OEM guns, and I from time to time I'll put some together. I still assemble them, like I said, but I still love polymer 80s. I still build them all the time, and I love printing. But I will say most of my frames, because I've never gone to like nylon or anything like that. My printed frames are like stripped over there. I don't really like rock them like that. If I went to nylon, first thing I would do, if I got like an X1C or something like that, first thing I would do is I would print a fucking Mac Daddy. No, sorry, mac and cheese. I want a fucking mac and cheese so bad. They're so sexy. You take a shitty little machine gun from the 60s and you turn it into a formidable PDW, and that shit in carbon fiber nylon is fucking pure sex.
Shout out to my boy Middleton, dude.
I got a story.
Yeah, Middleton's badass too.
So once upon a time, before AWCY was famous and the Evo was released, and you could get fucking Evo kits on Gunbroker for like $50. No shit.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious. I got 2 Evo kits for $149. That was 2 barrels, 3 trigger kits, 3 triggers. So I'm in AWCY. Where can I help? Where can I help? Evo. All right. I fucking all of a sudden, let's just fast forward. All of a sudden, this guy Ingarm's like, yo, I'm thinking about trying to dump 1,000 rounds through my Evo. And apparently he had like a factory CZ Evo. Its common problem is for the left side plate to blow out out of battery, which the left side plate is the fucking firearm. So
yeah.
He found GunCAD by looking for a plate for this. So I was like, well, hell, man, I had discovered that he lived about an hour from me previously. And I was like, well, I'll join you if you like. I'll put 500 on it. And so I printed an Evo frame out of Nylon X. And I took the frame straight off the printer, processed, put the gun together, went and met Ingarm. Drove to this guy's house, had never met anybody in GunCAD whatsoever. This is before the Evo release for AWCY, right? So like I pull up to this dude's house, I'm nervous as fuck. I've never met nobody here. And like somebody comes down and meets me and they're like, can I help you? And I'm like, yo, I'm here to meet so-and-so. And I get his name wrong. I fucking get Ingarm's first name wrong, like right off the bat to his buddy. And he's like, who? And I was like, well, he said Ingarm. He's like, oh, you mean John? I was like, yeah, John. He's like, okay, hold on. He's like, go over there. And so John comes down and man, he's an SOT dude. And he fucking drives up and he's got like fucking 50 machine guns and all kinds of ammo and all this shit. Right. So we take his SOT Scorpion Evo lower and we put it in my fully printed everything frame. And our plan is to try to fire 1,000 rounds to this gun, fully automatic. Right.
Okay, quick timeout. Wait. Before you continue, I think it should be noted for people that don't know the Evo platform, the restricted part of the firearm is the upper, not the lower.
One side of the upper.
Yeah.
It is the left side of the clamshell. That is it. The right side of the clamshell is not, and it is just the left plate.
I always forget because the magnet is on the right side. I got an OEM one too. I don't remember. I know it's just one side though because they're put together with fucking screws. You know.
Correct. The left side is the registered part.
Gotcha.
Okay. So anyway, so my first like Crucible beta testing experience is basically I pull up to this guy's house. He busts out all these machine guns. We put his bolt and his lower into my fully printed gun, right? And the plan is we're going to load 100 rounds across like 2 30s and 2 20s, okay? And so I'm going to fucking dump 100. He's going to dump 100. I'm going to dump 100, and we're going to let the gun cool off.
Were these the factory translucent smoky mags?
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. So first 300 rounds go off with not even a single malfunction. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so badass. We're just okay.
We did it.
Yes, bro. All day long. 14 out of almost 1,500 rounds, 14 failure to eject or feeds. And we needed lube, right? Around 600 rounds. We needed to spray that motherfucker down with oil. I couldn't believe it. So my first experience was dumping like 1,500 rounds full auto through a 3D printed frame straight off the printer with no post processing, no fucking nothing. Prusa all the goddamn way, baby.
That's dope. Now, was the rest of it OEM or was
only the lower?
Okay,
the
gotcha.
Upper, the fucking handguard, all printed Nylon X. Okay, the barrel turned purple. We fucking fired 1,500 rounds in about 3.5 hours through this gun. The barrel turned purple.
The bolt and the fire control group are the SOT winky face version.
The bolt is only the lower is the SOT version, and it's in the trigger pack. So the full auto function of an Evo is in the trigger pack. It's about $450, but you got to be an SOT. It's not a transferable either. So you buy it one time, it's kind of fucked after that, the way it worked, from my understanding. But any SOT can get an Evo trigger pack for about $400.
If you go on YouTube and you go to the trailer, which might be the first ever AWCY trailer.
It was.
You can actually see BitPlum in the BitPlum mask.
So that was before I had like the purge one, right? And I had like this black mask on.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. At that time, it was like taboo to show your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't know any better. I was like, I met this guy. I never met this guy. Dude, Ingarm turned out to be like the coolest motherfucker in the world. The nicest guy ever, right?
Have you ever met Ingarm?
No.
DLD? So here's a fun Ingarm story. We were at SHOT Show, and at SHOT Show, it was on the like law enforcement floor. There was this company that had like taser gloves, and the taser gloves, the premise is like you're like a correctional officer or whatever, and you want to be able to like subdue a prisoner quickly without any risk of electrocuting a random person, whatever. And you just have this glove, right? And the glove, the second you attach it to someone, zaps the fuck out of you, right?
Jesus.
You're not resisting this. This isn't fucking taser. This isn't a prong.
So we got there, and we saw the thing, and no one was volunteering, and they were trying to get people to volunteer. And so I volunteered and immediately hit the ground. I'm like, please, dear God, let it end. I give up.
Jesus.
And so one by one, everyone in our group volunteered.
Nobody pissed themselves.
Down for the count. The second it starts, it sucks.
Jesus.
I like, it's pretty bad.
And
have you been tased prior to that?
I have. Yeah, I got stunned gunned once when I was like really drunk in college, and I let this chick who carried a stun gun like stun gun me, which was a mistake, but it was pretty funny.
Jeez.
I built a gattle prod, Mr. Snow's gattle prod, and zapped myself a few times. Like the first episode of Out of Battery was all of us like zapping ourselves with gattle prods on stream.
Shout out to Snow too. He's a good dude.
Dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
But dude, the taser glove, I imagine allegedly it's less bad than like the prongs version of the real taser, but it's not fun. It's not chill.
When you get a good connection, it doesn't matter who you are, how big you are, anything. I mean, you don't choose to respond. You're just like, bah! Like it's
so. There's a moral to this story.
Ingarm is like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get. So these guys had like fake guns, like they're like plastic mock guns in holsters on their belt. And he's like, I'm gonna go, and not only am I gonna not succumb, I'm gonna disarm him.
What?
And I was like, what? No, you're not. No, you're not. And so we have on fucking film Ingarm going up there, and dude, my man has such a high pain tolerance that he stands the whole time and successfully disarms this dude with the taser.
He does get the gun out of his holster, and he's like, it's crazy because this isn't tasing, man. When this guy touches you, you're done because it's bone induction, like tasing. They said this doesn't affect people with heart problems or pacemakers or any of that. So like Middleton was a bitch and he didn't do it because he's like, well, I got a heart problem. And the guy's like, nah, it doesn't affect people with heart problems. And Middleton like still ran with it. But the rest of us got tased. But anyway.
I totally would have done
Ingarm,
Justin didn't, because he said that he'd been tased in real life and didn't need to be tased again. But I think he was just being a pussy.
They were pussies.
I'll tell you what, man. Getting tased is a motherfucker. I'll tell you what though, getting tased is like and then you're like, man, that sucked. But getting pepper sprayed or tear gas or mace that shit is hours.
You should just do it like every day, a little bit of pepper spray in your face. Just get used to it until pretty soon you can eat that shit for breakfast and fuck him motherfuckers.
I try to like eat spicy burritos and stuff, but that doesn't really help.
Like I can abide the spiciness of something in my mouth, but in your eyes, dude, like, come on. Like 3 hours of just being blind.
All gun catters have been training to shoot at noises. It's fine.
With their pinties.
You do the Mad Max, the fucking witness me, just pepper spraying your face. Build up that tolerance.
What a good
movie.
My
god, that's great. So what are some projects y'all are working on that y'all could like talk about?
We have a couple projects that I don't think we're ready to talk about right now, but
Okay.
I feel like the main thing that I want to talk about right now is we are at a place where we have talked with a huge percentage of the big names in GunCAD. But I think we're interested in getting like up and coming people, right? So reach out to us if you're like developing stuff, if you have been doing a bunch of beta testing, if you're an interesting person in GunCAD who you are on the up and up, consider reaching out, and we would love to chat with you and see if we can get an episode going. Because I mean, worst case scenario, you're a dickhead and we kick you off the stream while we point guns at the camera. Okay.
It's weird to figure out how to grow like as Out of Battery, because we're not in it for profit. We're not in it for subs.
Yeah.
We're just kind of in it to have fun and be with the community, right? And so if you like want to be on the show and hang out or whatever, you gotta fucking reach out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. We want to have people come on and hang out.
You know,
I want to get that motherfucker memes dispensed on one day. That dude is that shit
dope.
is. You follow memes dispensed on Instagram?
I honestly think Flying Rich and like I know I joke and I make fun of him as often as I can, but Rich, if you're still out there, bro, like he's got like the other element of like engineering shit down, like aviation, like he's got other shit that helps him with like understanding, not just like the CAD aspect and firearms aspect, but like how they function and like where to reinforce shit and like, but like a little bit more like the shit that like other people may learn when they're like actually like beta testing, maybe like very early on. I think he would do well. So Rich, maybe y'all should connect or something like that.
Oh yeah, dude. We would love to have Rich on. If you guys want to do another joint episode where we jointly stream, come on our show, just hang out. At this point, we are pretty laid back. So we will do whatever you want. We love you, Flying Rich. By the way, next year, both of you guys should come to Midwest Meetup. It is about as much fun as it's possible to have at an event.
Come down.
Out. It's
I'm
good.
down.
I took off at a full sprint in the middle of the fucking dark in nods to go when Cape showed up. He's like, I'm here. We're on the phone. I'm fucking like 2 miles out in this cornfield out on this deer preserve with fucking nods on. And I just take off full sprint. If you can do it, it's badass with nods.
How many times did you fall?
And a fucking deer jumps out in front of me. I scared this motherfucking deer. I almost got it. I had my knife out. I was like trying to run. It was just faster than me.
So none of this is true, by the way.
It was cool. No, the deer part jumping out in front of me was, I just didn't have my knife out, but I tried to grab it. He was fast.
Barton Fink, we asked Nopal to come on. I would love to have Nopal on. He's like a old weapon skilled head. He's in AWCY. He's done a lot of cool stuff. I've been following his RBC 9 videos. He's got some new belt fed stuff. Like the man is the king of the belt fed. I would love to have him on and just pick his brain, but
there's also lots of people we've invited that have said, oh man, I would, but not now, but so if that's the case too, the invitations are all still open.
Oh yeah, there's also, and this is the thing that like I know I don't fully understand everything about like all the communities and shit, but like I know there's probably people out there that are like, oh my god, like Dark had Aussie on his show. Can you believe he did? Oh, this person had this person in this community, and it like, can we just build guns and proliferate freedom amongst?
That's
like,
what we're about right here at Out of Battery. Is we're the bridge between all the different communities.
We have gotten in trouble with people for having other people on our show several times. That said, we're not going to stop. And the vast majority of people who get butthurt about it are nobodies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the people that actually come on the show, they're fine with it. They can take a little bit of razzing or whatever.
Yeah, a little
It's fine.
controversy is good, especially like if you disagree with somebody, then it's best to actually listen to them, right? You may be able to better understand them, or you know what? Maybe just sit that episode out. But everyone needs to stop being bitches and like the whole gun building, you don't see like P80 guys be like, oh, they're 3D printers. We don't fuck with them, or the AR guys like, oh, those are 1911 builders. They're gay, I
Get
just think
off
it's
of Twitter, stop reading FossCAD in anger, and start printing guns like an adult. Okay?
Listen here, stop developing based upon laws, okay? Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
for
Do
real.
what feels good. Nike,
Dude,
if
shout
it
out
feels good,
to
do it.
the people that are fully in contravenance of the laws of wherever they are. Zay Karaoke, dude, you fucking
Dude, my
rock.
boys
Keep
in
doing what you're doing.
outside of America. I gotta give a shout out to those guys. They're doing the
Dude,
hard work.
for real. That's
There ain't
some
no places where this is okay
yeah,
outside of here.
yeah, yeah. That's some shit. Oh, and actually, that brings me to a question that I wanted to bring up. So, would you guys agree, yes or yes, that bamboo has kind of taken over the gun printing world?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I would say yes and no. And from the perspective that I think most of the like super serious people, yeah,
Mhm.
100%. They're
Yeah.
like, they have a bamboo. There are exceptions.
Yeah.
But
If you're serious about beta testing or developing and prototyping, bamboo's the way to go. Just fucking skip the rest. You're gonna save time. You can get $200 ender, but you're gonna put fucking $1,200 worth of your time into that shit. Eventually,
Yeah.
just get a bamboo.
I
If
would
it's
say
correct.
like probably 95% of the serious alpha and beta testers for the major developers are running bamboos at this point. But I think the community at large is not on the same page. Like, bamboos.
40, you're the exception, not the average, bro. Don't ever change. This is a heart right here for you.
You did a pussy first.
I was gonna
I
say-
know, but I was trying to get the heart. I'm dyslexic. Fuck you.
So how do you mean, Kate?
So I think a pretty significant percentage of all people coming into gun building have like DIY printed gun building are coming in with no real P80 experience, no real like metal experience, and no real printing experience. And they're coming in, they go hit up like the Control Pew guide or something similar. They see, okay, what should I get in Ender? And that is definitely the path that I would say the average person in the community is getting in with. I think louder people who are like more present in the community, it's not true of, but the average person is still an Ender 3, Ender 3 V2.
I want to stick up for all the glowies out there. Okay, just for a second.
Dude, shout out to
I want to
who
shout
glow
out
in
to the
dark.
glowies who aren't really glowies. Okay.
That's
Shout out
funny.
to
The
those guys,
nickname
okay?
for my
When I
viewers
came
are
here,
glowies.
I
just so you
fucking
know.
convinced people that I was a fed because I was looking for shit and asking questions that I didn't know I wasn't supposed
Dude,
to.
asking insert meow where you can get
I had insert meow arms convinced I was a fed, like even probably to this day, maybe.
Oh, dude, welcome to the beginning of my channel, dude. That's what I am still called a fed to this day. Trust me.
I wasn't. I mean, everybody's looking for a Glock switch until they fire one.
Yeah.
Then you're like, what the fuck? This is trash.
That said, 5.56 in an AR, it's
That's
fine.
where it's at, especially
That's
since-
where you should be aiming, but rather
Yeah.
a bugle is just as easy to print as a Glock switch. Not that you ever should unless you have an SOT.
Of course.
That said, definitely do it. It's a lot of fun.
If you're an SOT and you're looking for a quick machine gun, I would do like a Boogle or a Mom's on Demand before I ever thought about some stupid ass Glock switch. Shut the fuck up with your Glock switch.
Glock switches are whack unless they're like
it's
all
fun,
like,
but that's it. It ain't.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, if something is like super safe, then nothing that's super safe could be super dangerous. So that's something I find that pretty dope.
That brings us to another point. Did you guys see the FRT? Stay? Okay. That's promising for some of the super safety stuff. I really like the super safety and I'm very impressed with that work. And it's very promising for that. So just super safety all the way.
Yeah. Yep. Now, at least for now, right? In a month, people may watch this and be like, "Feds, y'all are a bunch of feds." You know, who knows what's going to happen in a couple weeks?
Maybe we are.
In defense of like the Fed meme, I will say it is a little funny to call your boys feds. In opposition to the Fed meme, like I think it's a little overdone. The vast majority of people that are called feds are either like joking, winky face, or are just like retards.
We're just retarded, man. Hey, can you show me how to get a Glock switch? I mean, dude, people are legitimately asking this question. It doesn't mean they're a Fed. They're just like, wait a minute, I didn't join the community long enough to figure it out myself.
I think it's fine to call those people feds to like sort of establish community norms about like don't
absolutely
wait until everyone knows who you are to ask for the naughty things.
If you're watching this, man, I'm kind of disappointed that I made you think I was a Fed, dude.
Can I briefly point out this comment by Kim Regic, who says Boogles are also hella profitable?
Is that the Kim?
That is the Kim. Yeah,
bro,
and so
Kim, I love you.
For the folks at home,
king,
who don't know who this is the guy who went to the Utica, New York buyback and sold Letitia James like, what was it, $21,000 worth of Boogles? Like my man was out of fucking control. Yeah.
Yeah. And cross state fucking lines.
Dude, listen, if you haven't heard this story, you need to go back to our channel and listen to him tell it, because the way the ATF tried to Jew down all the guys that were working there at the buyback, they were telling one set of guys that they were, well, they're going to take this amount of money, you should. And then they go to the other group and be like, oh, they're going to take less than you should.
He's like, but these
they were trying to swindle these motherfuckers.
Yep. Dude, the set of balls you got, I swear to God, you got a Velcro a fucking wheelbarrow to your thighs, bro. Like that is crazy.
In New York, no.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Which like fuck Letitia James, by the way. But so, and Kim, I love you. And he came on the show with his little meme thing before, like, and dude, he's awesome. Love him.
Now he doesn't care. You can see him.
Yeah, that's hella dope. But so really quickly on the bamboo thing. So here's my kind of thought process on this. Hold on. Rich just let me see what this says. I see it on my phone first. So Flying Rich Farms, thank you for the super chat. Wait, you guys glowies don't try to trap you. Rich, do me a favor, translate that into English and then send a regular.
Don't blow up Rich's spot. He's dyslexic.
What does it say, Cave? What does it say?
He's saying that your glowies don't try to trap you, i.e. like the people in your DMs aren't like trying to trap you.
Yeah.
And dude, I will say, like, I feel like of people who have a YouTube show or something in Guncat, I probably get the fewest glowies because I don't go on social media very much. No one is in my DMs. The other day I got someone in my DMs and I was like, oh, it's someone I know. I've met this person. That's fine. I don't think I've ever gotten a glowy being like, hey, send me the fucking Glock autoseers, bud.
You could change your life by turning notifications off on your phone.
Bro, I know. I literally canceled, I turned off notifications on so much shit, which big apologies to my Discord. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I promise. I just know I haven't talked to you in like a year.
Dude, it's some kind of disease, right? Like if you have too much shit popping up on your screen all the time, it will distract you from everything in your life.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. It begins to like life, real life no longer exists, or it exists less, right? Because the way we are, like we're this like and remind me, I want to get back to the bamboo thing because I have something to ask y'all, but we're in this like this mode of, and this is the norm now, where it's all like consumerism and convenience, right? And we always are looking for a vacation and an escape, and that little on our phone is that quick little like, oh, let me dive into an outside world, and it's crazy. Like, go fuck your wife, go take a book on your front lawn, and go
Dude, I
like
stopped printing guns and I fucking bought a Toyota Tacoma and I trick this motherfucker out into a badass apocalypse vehicle. I will run over people
Dude,
in the
it literally
apocalypse,
has IR
This
illumination.
motherfucker is sick, and I
That's
couldn't have
dope.
done this if I hadn't have just kind of like turned these motherfuckers off for a little bit.
taking a step back.
Shout out to John Crump. What's up, homie?
He's the man. He's the man. He dropped an article recently on AmmoLand with that whole New York ghost gun thing that we actually read on a live stream a couple days ago. Did you know that eBay, the New York State Police reached out to eBay, and eBay was like, "Oh, you're looking for information on anyone that's purchased any firearm parts at all? Oh, you don't have a subpoena? Oh, you don't have a no? Okay, here you go." And they gave all the data and information to the police.
I bought like 76 fucking Glock slides on eBay over the course of my gun cat
you
career.
and me both, dude. eBay is like the place I go to.
For you, Plum. They are coming to your house as we speak,
dude.
You know what?
Wait,
come heavily armed.
We
and send
agreed that
back
we were
flares.
not going to be naughty boys, and both you and put it down, you
That's
fucking animal.
airsoft.
So actually, they're
That is an
funny
airsoft
I'm
enough-
gonna
gun, by
shoot
the way.
my
Paintball gun.
airsoft rifle into their eyes.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Yes.
Oh, so here's my thing. Sorry, so to back up a little bit. So the bamboo thing. Okay, if you go back to the days of the Ender, it is an isolation of the internet. You have an independent slicer. You have like right. So my thought around this, and this is a conversation that's come up before and probably has been addressed with you guys too. If bamboo was like, oh, we know, let no one print guns, right? Sorry, that was racist. But if they were just like, we from
fentanyl.
As a Chinese man,
I mean, we kind of
Chinese are the biggest supporters of gun cat in the whole entire
dude,
world.
like you go
Yeah,
on a
for
Chinese
sure.
filament company's like Amazon page, and they always have a picture of a fucking frame.
Doge
on
NATO's fucking 3D printed guns.
the-
Could they make fentanyl filament? Well, so here's my thing.
That's how I bring it into the country.
Right?
Yeah, no, I
Actually,
just print it again. It dumps out its powder after you heat up the filament rolls.
That's genius. So if they wanted to, if they said, hey, you know what? We want to appease whatever fucking probably not, but bamboo is literally positioned to say you can't do this on our, it's connected to the internet. It's got the bamboo slicer. It's got like it is kind of they could easily step in and say, okay, no guns, boom, done. And I know there are ways to get around it, but what are y'all's thoughts on that?
So I will say this: it's entirely possible. I know this because I did this, right? Like it's entirely possible to have a bamboo not connected to the internet. I have never given it the power to connect to my internet, and I never will, right? So even if there's a universe in which this happens, delete WPA2 keys off your machine, and you can have your SD card that you plug in. You use Orca Slicer to slice, and then what are they gonna do, dude? Just roll.
Have you ever
back
seen
the
Kung
firmware.
Fury, DLD?
Seen what?
Have you seen Kung Fury?
Mm-mm.
No.
It sounds like a terrible
When
movie.
we're done here, I need you to take 30 minutes of your life and do yourself a favor and watch Kung Fury on YouTube.
Kung Fury. Okay.
Kung Fury. If you and the rest of the audience, if you've not seen Kung Fury, again, you'll thank me later. I need you to tell me that cape is not Hackerman.
Okay, I promise you that within the next 90 days.
Dude, if you watch the first, it's 30 minutes long. You can see it on YouTube. And if you watch the first 30 seconds, you will not stop.
I promise you, I'll watch it. Don't hassle the Hoff.
All right. There is so much more to cape than meets the eye. It's not even funny. This guy is probably single-handedly responsible for all ransomware fucking attacks in the fucking whole entire world.
Let's not get carried away.
Did anyone that slips on sunglasses before a live stream, you know they got some mystery behind
You can
them.
see his
real mystery,
hacking going on in the background.
Is I like get
like
Asian
Matrix
flush
code
so bad when I drink, and so I'm just wearing the sunglasses so people
turn around,
don't make the
comments
link about
in the
like,
back of your neck. Kate.
This guy is so blazed. It's for some reason people assuming that I'm stoned when I drink alcohol makes me so fucking tilted, dude.
Cape will hack time itself.
Dude, I will.
That's a Kung Fury reference. You need to watch this movie, bro.
Cape doesn't use a mouse.
Space mouse only, brother.
Dude, if you played Nintendo, you know what the Power Glove is, right?
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. I am a fucking duck hunt kid to the fullest.
Okay. How old are you, man? Like 1982 gang, motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm not that. I mean, I'm in the 80s. I'm in the 80s.
All right.
Duck Hunt, Contra, up, down, left, right. No,
dude,
up,
Contra
down,
was
down,
the
left, right.
shit. Do you remember
was the
renting
code?
video games? Like having to have your mom drive you to a store on Friday, rent a video game. It's like $3. You rent the cartridge, you go home all weekend, you turn it back in on Monday.
Oh yeah, I remember when games were just one day, all on like DVDs, CDs, and shit. It was like, whoa, like we have gone to like the next level, people.
Dude, all those fucks who collected DVDs thinking like I need to get every movie they ever made on DVD, and like 3 years later, it's just all stream.
They just look at their phone. Damn it, dude, it's crazy. Kim, are you not in your 30s, Kim? What's the deal here? Alcy needs to
Ken's
make you
young, man. Dude, I would think
I'm pretty sure Ken is younger than me.
Gun Cat is under 25, maybe under 26.
Please rewind before return.
Yup.
Be kind, rewind. So I at the end of every stream, I do this little thing where I want to make the world a better place, right? And part of why I do this is for, just the whole thing is, to help people become aware of all the fuckery and to focus on what's important and to prepare for anything, whatever SHTF event may come. But it's also the proliferation of the signal. So whatever your way of building, even if you're like the guy that buys serialized lowers and assembles ARs, that's dope. As long as you build guns, teach other people to build, share it, push it out there, and then prepare, because the government hates you and wants you dead. So the more we can do that, the better. That's why I do this. And if I can find a way to also help people become better individuals and collectively better community, then I'm all about that. So holy shit, Rudy Finney, bro, wow. Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate that. I don't know what all these symbols mean.
That's Contra. That's right. That's the Contra fucking cheat code right there. Up, down, left, right, BA start. Hell
dude,
yeah, bro.
You are the man, Rudy Finney. Thank you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for that. His balls are too huge.
So how did Matthew Perry die? It was the fucking jab, wasn't it?
Probably. All of a sudden he had
fucking clots in his shit.
Jesus,
it was the same guy who got Abe.
It was the same guy who told you that you need to take more COVID tests, Cape.
You can't get COVID if you don't take the test.
Well, there's a lot of like shit about the test, but go ahead.
Here's one thing I want to shout out. I feel like we're at a point where GunCat has gotten a lot of mech-ease, people that are comfortable building stuff, people who know CAD. Mm-hmm. But I want to shout out a couple weak points of GunCat. And if you know about these things, I think you should be contributing a lot more. If you are a chemist, let's start working on some DIY synths for things that will be useful to the GunCat community. Let's go, boys. Come on. If you're a chemical engineer, if you're a process engineer that has done chemical stuff, if you are a chemist, let's start thinking about this stuff. If you are someone who has experience with ECM or EDM, let's figure out how to get intermediate and above rifle barrels done. We have been stuck on 9mm barrels ECM for an embarrassingly long time.
You're not shitting.
So, guys, if you can
Gun
figure
Cat
out a
is
way,
boring lately.
if you can do it faster than Jeff Rod can do it, I'm shouting you out right now. Figure out how to do it, and we are talking about hosting a competition with real money for whoever figures out how to DIY a intermediate caliber rifle barrel in their house, 10 inches or longer. And if you can do it in a week, that is the requirement. So if you figure out a way,
how much is the pool cape?
Right now, I'm the only person who has contributed, so it's not very big.
Over how much?
It's a couple $100.
See,
like $500.
Okay, nice. If somebody out there has a press, in theory, depending on what press you have, couldn't somebody do like cold hammer forged shit with a press in their fucking basement or something?
Yes. So I want to stipulate another rule. So you are allowed to use a press. You are not allowed to use a lathe or a mill.
Okay.
You are not allowed to use a rifle button that it's not possible to get in Europe or Asia.
Yeah, it's got to be something that. So it's similar to the concept of like the shit better be able to be printed on an Ender 3 bed, like something that is accessible to the general public. Okay,
we are trying to get something that people anywhere in the world can do in their garage. If you can figure out how to do that in a dorm room is better. In a garage is good enough. So if you can figure that out, we will give you money and we will be eternally grateful for you advancing the state of the art.
So let me ask this. Well, I forgot PSR, which he's come on the show before too. He's I don't know, friend of the channel, I guess. Yeah, we don't talk or anything, but PSR came on before too, and he did the Myanmar.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're straight up making FGC9 like carbines. Imagine what they could do if they were running around with fucking orcas with super safeties and 5.56 barrels that like you could make in a kitchen.
They just get drone strike, that's all.
So
yeah,
guys, if you have a skill set that's not being used right now, if you're an EE, if you are a chemist, if you are a whatever, and you know how to do something that is lacking in the community right now, let's advance the state of the art. Like I don't want to say we've been stuck, because I think there are a lot of interesting things happening. We've been stuck a little bit.
It's just another Max skin. It's another fucking PDW. It's another handgun. Shut the fuck up. We have been stuck. We're stuck. I don't care. We're stuck here fighting. We're fighting each other. It's stagnant. This has become stagnant.
And then that's how shit like the 3011 gets built, I'm just kidding.
I like the 3011.
I think it's cool.
Think it's pretty cool.
The fact that an AR-15 hammer, that's incredible.
But
proceed.
The thing is, the model in industry, right? Like for anything real, right, is you have people doing basic research and you have people doing applied research.
Yeah.
And I think we have a lot of people doing applied research and not very many people doing basic research, right? Like, how do we DIY things that we have not been able to DIY in the past?
Yeah. And Rusty, to your point, is what I'm saying is like, what we're just making a new gun. We're making another gun. So I want to see some different things besides we're just making another gun on the same concepts we've been building on, is what I'm talking about. And there's probably some other hungry beta testers out there that know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. So you want to see more stipple patterns, is what you're saying?
I mean, I just want to print something else with a different stipple. That's it. I'm itching for another stipple.
Bro, 2 colors of filament and stipple. Like, what else could you
can change physics? We need to get through the next depopulation event, and then all the new technology is going to be released to us. So
dude,
bring the fucking depop on, bro.
I don't think you need to change physics or even material science. I think you just need to get there is a lot of unexplored stuff out there that is potentially doable in a garage that not many people have explored. And I would like to see more people working on the basic research stuff, and so I'm calling it out, dude. Rusty,
Yeah.
I'm not calling you out because I think you are doing a lot more interesting stuff than most, and I think you're in a relatively unique position where having a mill in your garage is doable for you, right? But like, if we're talking about dudes in Myanmar,
everybody, how does the average normie get here? The
right?
average normie gets here by like seeing this and going, well, I don't fucking have any of this shit. So the first step is a 3D printer. The last step is a lathe and a mill, right? You know, that's not how everybody gets here. Right.
What are your thoughts, Penrose?
As far as GunCAD being stagnant, going to that point, yeah, I don't know. We've seen some pretty crazy garage built RPGs. We do have those. That's fun.
That's true. It's true.
We just saw rifled 40 millimeter barrels being developed.
What?
Yeah, Mathematics has been working on that.
Fire.
You're supposed to say that?
Well,
I
they
think it's
were
knowledge.
they oh, you mean like that? So they were at one point you were not allowed to order rifled 40 millimeter barrels, but apparently they were deregulated, unregulated.
My understanding is he did the tax stamp, did everything legally just to cover his ass, just in case.
Okay.
So for him in particular,
everybody's an SOT.
Right, of course. But for him
That's
in particular, he's okay to do that. But
Gotcha.
I got
That's
to see it at the last Midwest meetup. He showed it off, and it looks factory. It is absolutely incredible.
There's an amazing amount of shit that is going on in a 40 millimeter launcher, from the primer detonation to the cartridge exiting the barrel, especially if you're talking like the belt fed what is it, Mark 19?
Mark 19, yeah.
Yeah, those rounds are completely different and also not compatible with like an M203, which is kind of cool. But
Right.
well, I mean, I guess interesting or fascinating rather. But yeah, like the timed fuse and the amount of rotations and it's really cool shit. So the fact that like there may be the capability of people that are literally unarmed, right? In like Myanmar, for an example, fighting a war, if they could DIY some 40 mic launcher, like, dude, that is a game changer.
Dude, if they get better, gotta stop. If they get better, they're just gonna get drone striked.
Yeah.
Well, then they need drones of their
just
own.
gonna get killed harder.
Yeah. And they could
Rusty.
probably take a lot of mofos out.
We have talked about Zurad's wire ECM machine. I do think a lot of the like flat EDM wire ECM stuff is interesting, and I think Jeff Rod's ECM drill stuff is pretty cool. But again, the thing to beat, right? Like, have you ever seen the AG cast video where he literally makes an FGC9 in his dorm room bathroom? Like, that is the level we're talking about. A $2,500 Bridgeport is not on the same level
And
as
how much,
doing it
what
in
kind
your
of money does
bathroom.
it cost to be able to learn how to run that? It's far exceeds $2,500 in time.
Yeah, well, and
I don't know anything about machining. If I were to buy a Bridgeport because it was fucking free tomorrow, that doesn't mean I can run the motherfucker, and it'll cost me so much in time, which is fine. But there are other people out there that already know how to run these things, and not everyone needs to know how to run a mill and a CNC and a lathe and a fucking everything, right? Like, that's why we're so diverse here, because some of us know how to do firmware and fucking renders, and some of us know how to fucking print, and some of us know how to design.
Shout out to more Beta Prince, by the way. Thank you, brother.
I think Rusty's point about like spinning a knob, like it's fair. You know, anyone could learn how to use a mill, but at the same time, I think the real innovation of 3D printing relative to like the Weapons Guild guys, right? What really fundamentally changed is not the ability to make a gun in your garage. That's still true. It will always be true.
Yeah.
If you have a mill, you can make a gun.
It's not even new.
Yeah, it's not new. What's different is retards can do it.
That's new.
That is new. And that is what we should be aiming for. We want to arm the other 11. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point.
The other 11% are hard R's, bro. We are fucking arming them.
Dude, that's why I always make the joke like, yo, DLD, why do you have like over 30 Glocks? That's insane. They're not for me. They're for my homeless person army. Like, it's an easy concept, you know? So if we can, teach people how to build their own, and you know what? To do it in their cardboard box bathroom, that is the goal. So, and mad respect for people out there that are machining, like, nothing but respect. And that's also,
it's fine. It's fine. The machines are gonna outpace the fucking users anyway, so it's cool. Eventually, you'll be able to just push a button and a fucking gun will pop out of some tennis shoes you punched down a garbage disposal. So it's cool.
Yeah. For real.
Yo, to the guy who said injection molding, Tim Harper W5TAH. Like I would love a universe where injection molding is like cheap and doable, but it's not, right? Like the cost of spinning up a prototype version of injection mold is expensive. The cost of spinning up a final version is going through 6 times whatever the cost of the prototype is. And it's nowhere near as cheap as buying a fucking bamboo.
And it causes you to go and buy a factory in China. And the next thing you know, you got a fucking 1,000 6-year-olds working for you. And you're trying to figure out how to fucking get them insurance.
You got to feed them. I mean,
so injection molding costs are going down.
Yeah.
I don't think we're anywhere on the level of like 3D printing and FGC9, right? Like it is not comparable, period.
There are a couple current projects of tabletop injection molding stuff going on, but I don't think it's anywhere near like where we would expect something to be, like a user-friendly machine similar to like a bamboo, right? I don't think we're there yet. Otherwise, we would see them out.
First day at SHOT Show, coming from like a fucking caveman, I type probably like 40 words a minute. I peck. Okay. At SHOT Show, the clearest takeaway was that the hobbyists have been left behind by no less than 3 decades. And they don't give a shit about us. We're not going to be metal printing at home soon. We're not going to be injection molding at home soon. They'll be injection molding titanium before we're fucking printing with metal in our garages.
I believe that.
So Cape's call out, his bounty quest is so important.
Dude, Gray Gunner, Lost Casting. I would love to see someone succeed at Lost Casting. That was one of the first things I thought when I saw like 3D printing guns, like, oh, Lost PLA casting. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
If you succeed at making a semi-automatic, reliable firearm with Lost PLA casting, I will give you the money from the current pool.
He's not
Which
joking.
will likely grow.
I'm not joking. I will literally send you $500 tomorrow if you can make a video proof that you have succeeded with documentation at making a Lost PLA casting firearm that is semi-automatic and works reliably for a crucible. So shoot 1,000 rounds out of it and I will pay for the crucible.
Do you understand the implications of what he's just said? For $500 to be able to Lost cast a firearm could change some of the world.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Could for sure.
I mean, that's what the P90 bolt is. That's what is that lead?
The P90 bolt is more important than the P90. How the
100%.
P90 bolt works and how it's built is far more important than the P90.
I think the P90 bolt is one of the more interesting pieces of basic research that's happened in the last year or so.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you aren't aware, go download the P90 files and take a look.
Especially the leaked ones.
Don't go download the real ones because they explain the bolt in full detail, right? So the idea is you have a metal. The particular metal is Cerosafe. Cerosafe is dense, but it has a very low melting point. And so at your house, just on the stove or whatever, you can boil water and melt Cerosafe to the point that it becomes a molten metal, and then you pour it into whatever shape the bolt is going to be, and then you pull it out of the mold, and now you've got a metal bolt with a metal bolt face, high density, that you could do without any welding, without needing to interact with steel, without any metal stuff. And that
for the
idea,
dummies out there, the outside of anything, say the Evo bolt. Okay, the Evo bolt, it's unobtainium. The outside shell is PLA, printed nylon, whatever, and the inside mass is just poured metal, Cerosafe lead, etc., etc.
So I'm going to make a comment that I think may be controversial, but
Please.
regarding the lost PLA casting, I don't know if we necessarily need to focus on casting metal, because as Hoffman has proven with the Orca, we can make a fully functioning, obviously minus the barrel, the bolt, things like that, pressure bearing parts. You can make a fully functioning rifle out of polymer.
dude.
So
who fucking cares? Like,
But,
we're talking about the world, dude.
But hang
everywhere
on, bear with
outside of the
me.
U.S.
Okay, if I'd mute
Everywhere
you right
but
now, if I
the
could.
U.S.
Bear with me. I think in terms of mass production, and this is really where it's going to be important. It's not going to be for, I'm developing a frame, I'm making a change every day. This is not for that. I think what is going to be really important for mass production is making silicone molds, getting good at that, casting with urethane resin. Because urethane resin, you don't have issues with heat if you select the right temperature resistant resin, and you don't have issues with layer separation. You also have a very, very low cycle time. So you can make a lot of these in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, but okay, I imagine I live in Germany or the UK or Myanmar or wherever. Now I just have a billion fucking urethane resin lowers. Cool, dude. I don't have any pressure bearing components. The part of the gun that fucking matters everywhere outside of the United States
is the fucking barrel.
Yeah. We're working on that. We're getting
That's
there.
what I'm saying. We're not working on it, and
no,
I think it's
we're not.
embarrassing.
We're working on 9mm barrels.
Well, I think, and we haven't like the community, I'll say, hasn't done that. You can still, like, if you're in the United States, in most states, you can go, like, I just grabbed a threaded Glock 9mm barrel on AIM Surplus for like $28.99, right? The beautiful thing about 3D printing frames and mags and all that shit, and like what the FGC 9 and similar, DIY firearms have done is like incredible. But how could somebody in the UK develop this? Like, I guess is that's your point, right? Like,
yes.
Like this and this in 5.56 and 7.62 by 39 and things like that, right?
Riddle me this though. We know that we have ECM jigs to make 9mm barrels, right? And it cuts the chamber, it does everything all at once. So it makes a complete 9mm barrel of whatever length you want. What in inches, what diameter is 9mm? It's about 357.
355,
355, yeah, something like that. There is a rifle caliber that is also 0.35 inches. You may have heard of it. It's called 350 Legend. It's a straight-walled rifle caliber. I absolutely believe if we can rifle 9mm barrels, there's no reason that we couldn't rifle and chamber a 350 Legend barrel.
So again, right? Like, if that's true, if you prove it, you document it with text documentation and a video, I will send you money. Okay, like, again, this is not complicated. If you want to win, just prove it. If it's 350 Legends easy, go do it, and I will send you money tomorrow. If you prove it tomorrow, I will send you money tomorrow.
Dude, I think we can even get some other folks to throw in on the bounty too, because that would be a massive advancement. I mean, look, all these people in non-friendly states, even in the US, right? Like, I'm hearing people say, like, I'm in Connecticut, I can't get ammo. So like I can't get ammo, I can't get barrels, I can't get parts, and all these companies like PSA and all these, but like I personally, I know I'm just selling jigs and tools and shit like that, but I've never not sent my shit anywhere. And any other company that's, you know, a larger company selling jigs or whatever, they don't sell jigs to the same places that they can't sell frames to, even though jigs aren't restricted. It's super whack. And all these companies that are making huge stands for our natural rights, which is dope, I love it, are not sending anything to any of these states, and it would give people an edge and a capability, even if all you have is a 350 Legend lever action or AR or whatever, you know.
Dude, 300 blackout. If it's easier than 5.56, prove it tomorrow and I'll send you the money. 350 Legend, whatever fucking meme caliber you can think of. If it's an intermediate cartridge and you can do it, I will send you money. I want to call one thing out here, which is DLD after an Ambien, which is still getting me, dude. To Cape's point, another huge thing would be for these out of the US location is making brass at home. So this is another area where I think we've seen a little of this. Photon had some cool ideas, not BATFE has some cool ideas. There are people who are coming up with the ideas, but dude, the US game is so focused on parts kits right now, we aren't seeing the basic research done. And I would love for there to be hybrid ammo that's like, you know, you buy aluminum sleeves and put it in printed ammo and then you make your own primer pockets or whatever.
So I'll
Dude,
say right
let's make
now,
it happen.
I've not said anything about this, but ever since shit got crazy with the recent conflicts that we all care about that no one is supposed to care about, I started working with another developer on DIY ammo, and
No
it is
shit.
in the crazy early stages. All right, but if some of this shit works out, and you know, maybe it's something we can expand into other people. It's a developer, a reloader, and myself. People are going to be able to do shit with stuff they probably already have if they're like us, and maybe some like basic primers, and then the next step would be finding a way how to do it without primer, like, you know, store-bought primers.
Right.
But you know, this is just like in the conceptual stages. That's why I've not said anything at all.
So shout out to Suckboy Tony for doing a huge amount of very cool basic research. But again, like the primers problem, the smokeless problem, these are things that, guys, we need chemists. Where are the fucking chemists? How are you guys not coming out of the woodwork?
They're cooking dope, Cape. Shut up.
Smokeless. Return to cordite. I'm just gonna say that.
They're cooking dope because it makes a fuck ton of money.
Spicy spaghetti, dude.
You can literally make powder out of your piss. Like that, we could definitely do some crazy things at home, y'all. Let's put our brains together.
Let's cook dope out of our piss.
Back in the day, they like in England when they were like, you know, making black powder with piss, the spiciest piss was priest piss, or ideally cardinal piss. You know, like they literally thought that how religiously important you were affected the nitrogen quality of the piss.
Wow, that's impressive.
Saltpeter, man.
Maybe they were just all very familiar with their holy men's peckers. I don't know. That's
that's for that holy water.
Yeah, that's
the amount of boys you copiated with.
The first piss of the day is always the best piss of the day when you're making powder. Especially if you're gonna take out your prime minister of Japan. All right, so moving on here. In closing, what do you guys think? That obviously focusing on things that we just discussed, right? But what are some things that you want to shout out to people that maybe haven't even gotten started, that maybe are doing a shitload of polymer 80s and ARs or whatever? Maybe they just got a ghost gunner. I just had a dude buy a ghost gunner from me, and he's like lit, like it's the coolest thing in the fucking world, and Anyway, for people starting out, like, what are your recommendations to them?
Number one, I would say this community is easy to contribute to. I think the base floor, like, there are not that many people that are like contributing enough that your contribution won't matter. So if you're considering like getting into this, you can be a beta tester, you can be an alpha tester, you can be a dev, you can work on the basic research stuff that we've been talking about. Any of those things is a huge deal. So like if you want to see the Second Amendment democratized worldwide, you want to see people be able to own guns forever, no matter what the laws are, you can get in now and really help this community grow, prosper, and get better. So
if you want to, you can fucking put Yankee Boogles in music and play them over to your 3D printer, and they can fucking spit out machine guns for you just by playing the song.
Dude, we got some dudes that are working on some comms shit that is bananas, where if we were in like a total police state, you could literally set up a meet where you don't even have any conversation with the person at all, get within a particular distance of them, and the devices that you have hidden, of course, would send STL files over, or sliced files over, to the other device without even looking their direction, and you leave. You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there that are doing crazy shit, and those same people should probably get, a little bit deeper into the CAD and printing and like, because there's so much that correlates with these different worlds.
Dude, I don't even want to say that. Like, you don't even need to be printing to help this community, right? Like, the fundamental goal of this community is to make this technology, like anything involving firearms, explosives, communication, anything that makes the act of
tyranny or
tyranny harder. If you can contribute to that, contribute how dude. Like, if you're doing comm stuff, you're like setting up encrypted LoRa mesh or whatever, release that open source, send that to people in the community, post it on Odyssey and DevCAD and GitHub and anywhere you want. There are a billion ways to contribute, and if you can do it, do it. And probably if you are doubting that you can do it, you're underestimating yourself.
There are tens and tens of thousands of people who want to do shit but don't know how. Share that with them.
Yeah.
Show up. Like, even if you know nothing.
Stack up, bitch.
These people in the community will help you get to the point where you are a contributor to the community, period. I will help you. Bitplum will help you. Penrose will help you. DLD will help you. Everyone will help you.
Yeah.
Show up.
If there's a way that I could help with explosives, energetics, just some basic, like, rudimentary shit, I'd be happy to help too.
I got 6 or 7 vests. I'm looking for some volunteers. We need a white van.
Oh shit,
dude!
And 6 55-gallon.
We can help you,
dude. If you have like a PhD from New Mexico Tech or whatever, and you you want to contribute easy synths to the explosive train that someone's going to use to blow up, definitely not the FBI quarters, but whatever, the bad guys. Dude, do it. Whatever it takes. Show up, and people will receive you with open arms.
Hell yeah. Awesome. I appreciate that, man. It's been badass having you guys come on and remind everybody. I know we saw Kurt. I appreciate you dropping the links in there, man. Thank you. But remind everybody where they can find y'all and who each of y'all are, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Don't find me. You'll regret it.
He'll find you.
Stop pointing airsoft guns at the screen, Bitplum.
Dude,
Bitplum has never interacted with a firearm. He is just very into pointing. Benchies go boom. We heard very good things about you early in the stream. If you want to come hang out with us, let us know.
Yeah, he's a hell of a guy. He's been known to do some crazy shit that like, just from looking at something, being able to just throw some shit together, and I could tell stories. He's actually part of the Freedom Crew University. We have this whole thing on literally teaching people how to build guns. Like it's cool, right? And he's the 3D printer guy. Like he's getting people started in 3D printing. Like it's crazy. So he's a hell of a guy. Damn, Rudy Finney again, brother. Van check.
White van.
Dude,
White van,
on the
same chest.
topic of things like places that will help you learn.
Yeah.
I want to shout two things out. So number one, AWCY, there's a dude named Many Enemies Bring Much Honor. And he will help you be able to print beyond your wildest imaginations in any filament that exists.
Nylon King.
Nylon King. If you show up in his printing room, which is a public room available to anyone, he will help you learn how to print in nylon where you can make long-lasting permanent frames forever. The second thing I want to call out is JP Guncat and Unseen Killer host a weekly event where they will teach you how to CAD. It happens every week. There's stuff for beginners, intermediate, and advanced people. And if you're a beginner, just go to the beginner class and you will be taught by people who have dozens and dozens of builds and probably hundreds of designs under their belt, how to design something at a very rudimentary level in a CAD program that is free to download.
Hell yeah.
So definitely consider checking that out. Where can you find us? We are on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and so on. Basically
Mostly at your
everywhere.
mom's house.
we visit your mom's house a lot, but we're just bringing her cookies, dude.
That's all they're doing.
The name of our show is Out of Battery Live. We do a weekly live podcast on 3D printed guns where we bring in people that typically have a lot of experience as devs or testers or just contributing to the community in general. And we talk with them about what their contributions look like, what the space looks like, and frankly, just shit post for hours. So
hell yeah.
If you liked our appearance here and we did not annoy you, definitely consider checking us out, and definitely make sure you're subscribed to DLD, dude.
Appreciate
My man,
that. Thank you.
He really has built a brand, and
thanks, man.
We're sending you love, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let me ask you, I never asked you guys this, and it was one of my questions I was just curious about. Why Out of Battery? Obviously, an OOB is
3D printed guns worst enemy.
Yeah. So, interestingly, the person we were like brainstorming names, and I think it was Sheridan Arms and the other SIG, both of whom are like major developers. The other SIG has sort of stepped back, but back in the day, he was like a huge GunCAD developer. And both of them were posting ideas for the show. And I can't remember. I think it was the other SIG who came up with the idea Out of Battery.
Sheridan.
It is dope.
Sheridan.
It's a dope name.
Sheridan. He's gonna kick your ass if you don't fucking.
I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm like pretty drunk. So it was Sheridan, and he posted the name. We loved it. Immediately, right afterwards, I was like, if it's Out of Battery, it should be like the out of battery symbol on your phone, but with a fucking 762 in it.
Nice.
And that was how Out of Battery was born.
Hell yeah, that's dope. Of course, anyone in the gun world knows, of course, what a catastrophic failure an Out of Battery can be, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know if there was like another, story behind it, like if someone else blew their thumbs off, or if something else.
No, just the number one enemy is Out of Batteries, and the second enemy is the Tyrant.
Out of all the shit I've printed in GunCAD, like all the weapons I've made, found myself swimming in fucking all these guns. My most prized possessions out of this hobby are like the little trinkets along the way, the pictures, the Polaroids, the little envelopes I've gotten from people, the fucking like the little pocket sand from Rusty and a piece of tinfoil, and just like my Liberator signed by Cody, and just my shelf of trinkets. Man, that's far more important than any of the guns I fucking made.
Dude, I'm with you. The people that you meet, the people you run into, the relationships that you build, and this. So especially like when anyone can do this, right? Anyone, like if you're here in chat, you have a YouTube channel, right? You could just turn on your camera and start talking into the void, and just if you have a similar mission, just fucking do it, right? And then integrate with other people, and just keep proliferating the signal as much as you can. Rudy Finney, bro, thank you again for another super chat. You're there for her cookie.
What's our cut on him super chats, DLD?
I mean, I could give you guys a little percentage.
So one question I have is, do you have an after party?
No, I mean, we used to do like voice chat in the Discord afterwards, but usually I just go build guns after I stream.
Okay, fair enough, dude.
Yeah, or assemble. Today I've been assembling. You know what? Let me just. I got to show it because I showed it to all my people before. So Frag Out Firearms does. Are you guys familiar with Frag Out?
No.
So he does laser engraving, but the way that he does it is unique. So he's an artist, and like he's done like fucking like Ice Cube's album art, like no exaggeration. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, Frag Out, sorry if I'm not, but he's done like crazy like high level shit, right? So what he does is he'll digitally draw like he'll draw a pattern.
Holy shit.
That's amazing.
And then he'll upload that drawing. It's a hand drawing to his laser, and then his laser will do that. So he did 20 of these. I got an upper and lower, and then I painted it. I did like a battle worn gray black kind of coat to it, and I'm totally surprised I didn't completely
make a
fuck it up.
fortune selling in a narco state.
Ooh, that's true. I should have done gold and black. Damn it. But yeah, it's just like he does crazy shit like that. And Frag Out, I heard in the comments that you're finally closing on the new property for the new shop and all that. So hell yeah. Shout out to you.
Hope that's in Mexico, so you become very rich and prosperous.
Yes, but the ATF kind of has that business, and
They don't got no boundaries over there.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm saying they give firearms to the narcos, so they're taking the business from us.
The cartel guys are looking for that bling.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
Honestly, the ATF is giving them the practical firearms, but if you want to get in on the action, you can give them the hip and beautiful firearms that they don't actually use, but just post on their Instagrams, dude.
I would be weary. You may wind up a Jesse Pinkman chained up in some fucking cartel basement, assembling blocks till the wee
assembling
hours.
Like, please, no more JSD lower parts, kids. Oh, please. Oh man,
I'm tired of guns, please. No more.
Oh, depressing cruciforms. Depressing. Oh well, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, make sure you go support Out of Battery. Follow them on Tinder. Follow them on Bumble. No,
Grinder.
Grinder. Yeah, we are an exclusively Grinder outfit.
Yes, hell yeah. Go to their YouTube, subscribe, go watch their shit, like their shit. They're hilarious to watch. And also track them down on Instagram too. Go give them a like bomb. Go hit them like their last 10 posts. Go blow their shit up and show them some love. But take what they're saying very seriously about like how we can grow and expand this network of there's so many fucking smart people. I found out that a dude in like one of my viewers was like a neurosurgeon or some shit like that. Like the amount of talent we have in here that's underutilized is crazy. So take what they're saying seriously and see what we can do to kind of push the movement to the next level. And appreciate you guys. Anyone else want to say anything before we close out?
Nothing, brother. You did an amazing job hosting. So thank you for having us on, dude.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys led the show, man. I was just here to enjoy it. And in closing, guys, we'll say this. Of course, support the companies that support us. Fucking Goonbeam. Dude, Tack Knives. Tack Knives is killing it. They're doing their Black Friday, their free large OTF knife giveaways. If you use code DARK, you get 20% off. And just go Gideon Optics, like the guys that support us. Let's support them, show them some love, and all that shit's in the description as well. And in closing, damn, Rudy Finney again. I feel underskilled. Rudy, bro, thank you so much. You're doing way too much, and I love you for it. Secretly. Thank you. Just sub to Out of Battery Live. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah,
man.
dude. Come on the show next week, dude.
Dude,
actually, I don't know if we're open next week, but let's talk. We can hang out, dude.
Set something up. Send them a IG like something, slide in their DMs, I think people call it. And yes, of course, also if you support dldhardware.com, that supports the channel too. And because Shopify is trying to shut me down for breaking their weapons policy when I don't sell weapons, I had to post my Shadow Systems lower parts kits on eBay. So sad for that. Rudy Finney, thank you again. So okay, in closing, I'll say what I always say, which is rule number 1 is to be kind, right? It's so important to be kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed. A hand that's open to give is open to receive. So, just be a good person. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Thank you to the Out of Battery cast. Shout out to Swarmy, who had to take a all right, y'all. Thank you so much, guys. Stick around for a second.
Peace, homie.
Peace.